What's going on, everyone? Yes, today is another tour review, and yes, the man that stands in front of you is Jonathen Jostar from the epic manga / anime / even video game series JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, if you've never seen this character, I would definitely say give it a look. It's an amazing anime / manga and the game and all that rest of the good stuff. The new anime is actually going on currently right now. This particular character comes from the very first arc, and they are currently on arc 3. And it's actually possible that we may even get more arcs. So what's cool about the JoJo world is that you actually get to see characters go from being young to mid-adults to actually perishing or getting old, and you get introduced to another family member. So it's kind of cool because you get to see this long lifespan of the Joestar family. Now, this figure here is made by Medicos, which is known for its JoJo figures. So, as always, let's see what this figure has to offer, and let's jump into this review. So right off the back, let's go ahead and start looking at detail. I'll bring them up some so y'all can actually see. And I must say, I'm very pleased with the detail quality that Medicos deliver. They do such a great job. The skin tones and their shading on their figures are really, really great. Turn it to the side real quick. And their detail for their characters is so well done, and it actually looks directly like the manga that you see. Last but not least, the back. All right. And that is your full 360 how the character look. All right, now let's go ahead and look at height comparison. Now, one thing that is different about these JoJo figures, they actually was at a steady height scale for a very long time, and out of the blue, actually did a change up on us. It's not a huge change, but when you first see it, it does have quite a bulk. So height comparison wise, this is Joseph. Now Joseph is, I think, even actually taller than the original releases. If I'm not wrong, he might be like a smidget. And it's kind of the same situation with this character, but the only difference between this character and Joseph, which I'm going to bring up just a little bit so y'all can kind of see side by side. Even the bulk of the character is a lot larger. A whole lot larger. Even when you're dealing with the chest band, see, there you go. You can see from there, it's a lot bigger. That is dealing with the height, and also to give you a few other comparisons dealing with height. Here is a Mayfix Catwoman. Stand up, lady. Let's go ahead and just tilt her back some. So that is the height dealing with a Mayfix figure, and then dealing with a 12-inch figure. That's about how tall good old Jonathan stands. So we'll go ahead and move him out the way. Move him out the way. And let's go ahead and start looking at accessories. Now, if you never had a JoJo figure, one thing about Medicos, they actually, I'm going to compare them next to Revotech, not the actual quality. So I'm not speaking on that. What I'm actually speaking about is the heftiness of accessories that you receive when you're dealing with a Medicos figure. So off the back, you're going to get a total of 8 hands. So you have the 2 balled up fists that you see that's on them. you're going to get a hand for the casing of his sword that actually holds the sheath. Go ahead and focus for you. It's nicely sculpted. Then here's the hand for the sword itself. All right. Then you're going to get two karate chop hands, a left and a right, and they're pretty identical. So this is nothing really special. But they are nicely sculpted. You're going to get some sprawled out hands, which also identical. So I will say right off the back of comparison wise, the Joseph figure, which was the other figure that I showed you, he actually came with more hand expressions. So that alone right there kind of put him in a better position than this new figure, just because you do get a better variety of hands going on. Now, as for the Joseph, the Jonathan figure actually gets an extra head just as he did. It's a really nice scope, looks really good. See how close I can actually get up on this. Details, the paint job is really nice, especially with the hair. The hair is completely like just layers of hair. Looks really good. Doesn't look flat or boring. So you're gonna get that. You're gonna get his sword. And it's so damn detailed. If you see the anime, I'm not gonna say anything, but this is amazing. I'm just now seeing this because I really just took him out the box and messed around with him a bit before I actually cut this video on. They even showed a blood stain next to the word that's actually listed on the handle. That is really damn nice. That's some good quality. So you're gonna get that. You're gonna get the sheath that it goes into, which is really nicely done. Looks really great. And let's see how it fits. Nice and snug. Nothing falls out. Nice and flush. Looks really good. So you're gonna get that, and then you're gonna get his backpack. Now, I was kind of puzzled when I first took the backpack out, just because I was like, okay, how the hell am I supposed to get his arms in there? Because it's really nicely molded to the body of it. Let's see if I can focus on it real quick. There we go. So you can clearly see that those are glued in, so they're not going nowhere. But the bottom is actually pegged, and when you peg them in, it becomes extremely flush, just like that, which is nice. So pretty much you just strap them on him. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick, because I haven't actually, you know what, I'll wait. I'll put all his accessories on him once we're done. So go ahead and bypass that. You're gonna get a really long peg. The reason why it's so long is because it actually goes through the backpack, all the way out of the backpack into his back. So that's why you get that long peg there. And anybody that actually have a JoJo figure, you do know about this. If you don't, you actually should know about this if you never had a JoJo figure. This is amazing. I mentioned this in my last review. These stands are so damn nice. I'm gonna go ahead and brighten up a bit. So what's cool about these stands, you look at it like, oh, this looks like a standard stand that every other JoJo figure comes with. Well, it's not. Actually, let's see if this is already open. Because if it is, I'll just go ahead and show you myself. Well, I can show you through the bag. See that? I just disconnected. See how that just came off? So what's actually really cool, this right here disconnects when you have two toys. So let's say, for example, you have an enemy, which they did release an enemy, which I will be doing a review of that whenever time comes. So you disconnect this part, and when you disconnect it, it's like a lip, a plastic lip. Well, the reason why that is there, you can actually take the enemy's base and merge it to this base. And when you do that, you can actually create an aerial fight scene. And they're working off of one base. All you're doing is balancing the figure. So these base, hands down, I said it on the last review, I'm gonna say it again. These are by far the best base I've ever seen in any figure that I own. Solely because of that functionality. Like, that is fucking great. Like, that's really, really dope. Like, for the fact that I can actually take the standard stand that it comes with and create a fight scene just because I have two figures. This is nice. Alright, so you're gonna get that, and that is all of the accessories of good old Jonathan. Now, as for articulation, let's get in close. Give me 1 second to raise the camera real quick. Alright, let's zoom in. Alright, so right off the jump, head articulation. You get, it's on a ball joint which is attached to a hinge. So the ball joint itself is in the head, and the hinge, you can see it right there, it's in the neck. But you can actually get him to look up quite a bit. Really works really, really well. He can do a full 360. He can tilt slightly, but not by much. Now when you add the neck joint in there, you can get about that far down dealing with looking, which is really nice. Then tilt wise, you can get about that much over, and then add about that much over. Now, if I'm not wrong, give me 1 second, because I just want to check that out to see if they actually improved, which I think they did. So, by the looks of it, now granted, Joseph hair might be the same length. Jonathan here actually has the capability of looking up further. So that is an improvement. So that's nice. So there you go. You have an improvement between the old and the new. Now going down to the shoulders. Go ahead and come down a bit. To the shoulders. This haven't changed. This is still the same. You can actually click. Has like butterfly joints, which is really nice. It's made just like Medicom figures or even 3A figures. Any figure that has just a really, really smart design. This is nice. So you can actually get the shoulders to come in further forward. So you can actually get the arms together if he's holding the sword two-handed or whatever. In this case, he can't hold the sword two-handed just because he don't have the type of hands that would allow that. But you can if you want it. Then you can actually put the arms back. And they go quite far back. So that is really nice. And what's nice about this as well, his shoulder guards, they're able to rotate and move around. So you can actually work with those to make the pose look more legit and just stay more flush. So that's really nice. And it hides the peg holes, which is cool. So this arm is on a swivel, which can go all the way around. It's in the ball joint, I believe. But the ball joint is so snug and so tight, you're not going to get a ball joint feel. You're going to just get a swivel feel. So it can do a full 360. You just got to move the actual shoulder pad along with it. Now coming down to the bicep, it can do a swivel here. I'm going to come out a bit. Going down to the elbow. Get about that much of a bend. Now, one thing I want to say before I go too far into the review, what I did notice when I pull him out of the box, and I can tell right off the jump, this plastic seems to be soft, or actually more soft than the Joseph figure. When I was messing around, I'm like, well, damn, this feels kind of cheap. It's not cheap, it just feels cheap compared to what you held before if you got the other figures. So I did notice that this figure actually has a softer plastic, which is kind of odd that they changed plastics, but he clearly has a harder plastic. Even you can tell, like when I turn the arm, see how like it just looks more sturdy, even with the swivel going on, where when you look at this one, you can even hear the rubber rubbing. So you can tell it's a softer plastic that's going on. well, not rubber, but you know what I mean, a softer plastic, because you can definitely hear it. It's like a squeaky sound. So, which is kind of odd, but you do get a softer plastic dealing with this figure. But articulation stays the same. Now going down to the wrist joint, which is on a simple swivel peg. So you get about that far back, this far forward. Okay. You can get more on both sides. You just have to pull the hand off the peg a little bit and you'll get more range. All right. Now going down to his midsection, nice bend. Really, really nice bend. Let me see if I can move the arm that way so y'all can see. So it goes about that far forward, that far back, which is not much. Go about this far to the side. And you go about that far to the side. The actual wrinkles in his clothes kind of prevent it going any further as well. Now going down to his waist is on a ball joint. So we get about that much lean. You get about this much lean going this direction. And then you get about that much going forward. So adding the top and the bottom, get a nice bend in there. Going back is definitely more than what the top gave. Okay. Now going to his pelvis, dealing with the hip joints, they're still the same. This is not an improvement. I don't really see them improving it neither, unless they just make that choice. They should, because it definitely hinders a lot when it comes down to moving the thighs. This is still kind of flawed to me, which they can be trying to do something better here. Coming down the thigh, you actually have a swivel right here, but on the ball joints, which I meant to mention before going any further, you only get about that far of leg space, and then going forward you get about that far up. Going backwards, practically zero due to the mold. Okay, now going to his knees, double jointed, still the exact same, not too much different. You don't get a real tight bend on it. Let me see if the other figure gave one. The other figure was the same situation. So they both had a pretty weak bend to be double jointed. But it is what it is. It doesn't make me dislike the figure, but you know, it is. Now going down to the ankle, get about that much range forward, this much range down. You can pivot the foot, kind of like play arts cow figures. And you just do it, whatever works to get that nice footing on the ground to keep them posed. And then you have a toe joint. And I noticed with this toe joint, is actually a lot more stiff than this one. It's actually made better. See, this one is really, really flimsy, where this one actually just, maybe they used a different material. Whatever they did, they actually gave it definitely more resistance. It's not as simple and easy to just move around. So that was really nice. But as for good old Jonathan here, that is all of his articulation. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how his gear fits on him real quick. Come back a bit. So putting the backpack on, you just unpeg those, put them right over the shoulder. Goes over like this, which is very simple. And you're just gonna peg into the back. So one is already in. Let's get the other one. And what I do like, they do give you enough room to get those straps so you don't have to fight with it, which I'm actually really happy about. I'm not gonna do it perfect just because I will be taking it right back off anyway, but just to give you the idea. So that is his backpack. Looks really nice on the figure. Then dealing with hands. Oh, and by the way, his hands come off pretty easy. You just pull them off. Just be careful because these pegs are pretty tiny, and I can definitely see if you apply the wrong amount of weight to the actual peg, you can probably snap it, so just be careful. All right, and let's go ahead and put the sword in the hand first, which really nicely done. Holds well. Don't gotta worry about nothing falling out. It's nice and snug. Oh. What the hell? Give me 1 second. Yeah, definitely be careful with the figure, because I've noticed that the hole on the actual hand, since it's not the default hand that it comes with, it seemed to be a little bit tighter around the wrist part. So just be careful, just so you don't break anything. Now dealing with the other hand, go ahead and pull this one off. This is the hand for the sword itself, well, sheath rather. Let's see here. There we go. That'd be nice if they gave you like extra pegs just to be on the safe side. And further as fitting in the hand. There you go. So everything works. Now, I will say it stays in the hand pretty well, but further as like hanging, like having his hand palm down, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna hold. So that I wouldn't, you can try to attempt it. You might get better luck than I am, but by the feel of it, just because the way the hands are kind of like a softer plastic, it's not gonna hold that. Okay, so it can hold it, definitely vertical, just not horizontal. All right, so that is all with good old Jonathan. Hope this review helped out. Hope you found what I said actually helpful. And please continue to come back, check out these reviews. Definitely leave me a comment. Definitely subscribe. Hit the like button if you liked it. Let me know what you think. I actually gonna say I do really like this figure, and I can't wait to see Dio. Dio will be coming in, I think, next month. So that'd be really cool to actually do some nice little poses with both of them. Other than that, please continue to collect and shits. Make sure you return and check out more reviews. I do have the Hot Toys Batman, which I will be reviewing, and I have a few other figures that I will be popping up on here. Oh, one last thing. Definitely outside of this particular toy line, just want to give a shout out to AX2. That body that you seen earlier, I don't know if y'all looked at my Ray figure review. I actually had a bad body for certain situations, and just to let you know, they gave me a free body, which they didn't have to do. They just straight up did it. Awesome customer service. Whenever I get companies like this, I always give them props, because ain't nothing better than great customer service when you're spending a nice amount of money on toys. So just want to say shouts out to them. AX2 Studios are amazing. Other than that, y'all have a great one. Take care.